You have been staring into people's eyes your whole life, searching for the truth, and all you have found are well-rehearsed lies. Liars are controlling your attention with their words while their bodies are screaming the truth you ignore. You listen to the melody of their voice, you analyze the logic of their sentences, and you completely miss the fact that their feet are pointed at the door. You are being played, manipulated, and deceived every single day, and the cost is your time, your money, your trust, and your power. You are handing over the keys to your life because you are listening to the wrong channel. Words are the puppet strings. The body is the puppeteer's hands. Listening to words makes you a victim. Reading bodies makes you a master. This is the ruthless art Machiavelli perfected. He understood that everyone wears a mask, that the public persona is a carefully constructed lie designed to hide the private, selfish self. While the neocortex, the thinking part of the brain, is busy crafting beautiful excuses and elaborate stories, the limbic brain, the ancient survival mechanism, is busy telling the absolute truth through involuntary physical reactions. The brain can lie. The body cannot. If you want to become dangerously clever, if you want to walk through this world with the stoic composure of Marcus Aurelius and the strategic brilliance of Machiavelli, you must stop trusting what people tell you and start trusting what they show you. Here are 7 dark tricks to read their mind before they speak. Master these, and you will never be deceived again. Trick number 1, the baseline illusion. You think you know someone because you have spent time with them. You think you can tell when your partner is upset, or when your business partner is nervous. You are wrong. You cannot detect deception or hidden motives unless you first know exactly what a person looks like when they are completely relaxed, safe, and telling the truth. This is their baseline. Most people skip this step, and it is exactly why they get manipulated. You meet someone, they smile, they talk confidently, and you assume they are honest. But what if they always talk confidently? What if they always fidget? What if their default state is crossed arms and a rigid posture? If you do not know their normal, you cannot identify the abnormal. The cost of skipping the baseline is massive. You react to phantom threats and miss the real ones. You accuse an honest person of lying because they naturally avoid eye contact, and you trust a sociopath because they naturally maintain intense, unblinking eye contact. You are flying blind. Strategic people do not guess. They observe. Before any important conversation, a negotiation, a confrontation, you must calibrate. Watch them when nothing is at stake. How much do they gesture? How fast do they speak? What is their resting facial expression? Do they slouch or sit straight? You need to burn this image into your mind. Because the moment you ask the real question, the moment you push for the truth, you are not looking for lies. You are looking for deviations. You are looking for the fracture in the pattern. A person who is normally animated suddenly going completely still is screaming at you. A person who speaks slowly suddenly rushing their words is waving a red flag. But you will never see it if you do not know their starting point. Establish the baseline, or you are just a fool projecting your own assumptions onto their behavior. Trick number 2, the honesty gradient. You have been taught to look people in the eye when you want the truth. That is the worst advice you have ever received. The face is the least honest part of the human body. It is the most heavily practiced, the most consciously controlled, and the most easily manipulated. People spend their entire lives learning how to fake a smile, suppress a frown, and project confidence they do not feel. The neocortex has direct access to the face, meaning it can paint whatever picture it wants right there on the front of the skull. If you are reading the face first, you are reading the script, not the reality. You need to read from the bottom up. The honesty gradient starts at the feet and moves upward. The feet and legs are the most honest part of the body. Why? Because they are the furthest from the conscious brain, and they evolved for one primary purpose: survival. When a threat appears, the feet do not stop to think about social etiquette. They freeze, they flee, or they prepare to fight. When someone is interested in you, their feet will point directly at you. When they want to leave, their feet will point at the door. When they are uncomfortable, their feet will withdraw, tuck under a chair, or wrap around the legs of the stool. They are telling you exactly where their mind is, even while their mouth is telling you how engaged they are. Move up to the torso and hips. The ventral front, the chest and belly, houses our vital organs. The limbic system instinctively protects this area when we feel threatened. When someone is comfortable, they expose their chest to you. They lean in. They remove barriers. When they are uncomfortable, they turn away. They cross their arms. They grab a pillow, a clipboard, a laptop, or a drink, and they place it directly between you and them. They are building a shield without even realizing it. Then you have the arms and hands. When people are confident and comfortable, their hands are visible, their thumbs are exposed, their movements are open and expansive. When they are hiding something, their hands disappear. They go into pockets. They hide under tables. The thumbs tuck away. They pacify themselves by touching their necks, stroking their hair, rubbing their wrists. These are self-soothing behaviors triggered by the limbic brain to calm a stressed nervous system. You see someone suddenly start rubbing the back of their neck right after you ask a specific question. Their brain just detected a threat. They are stressed. They might be lying. But their face? Their face is still smiling, still nodding, still telling you everything is fine. Stop looking at the smile. Start looking at the feet. The body reveals what the face conceals. Trick number 3, the limbic leak. To read people like Machiavelli, you need to understand the war happening inside their brain. The neocortex is the liar. It is the sophisticated, calculating part of the brain that constructs narratives, plans manipulations, and fabricates excuses. It is the part that says, "I am so sorry I am late, traffic was terrible," when the truth is they just did not care enough to leave on time. The limbic brain is the truth teller. It is the ancient, emotional, survival-driven system that operates entirely below conscious thought. It does not care about social norms. It does not care about your feelings. It only cares about safety. When a person encounters a threat, physical or psychological, the limbic brain instantly triggers one of 3 responses: freeze, flee, or fight. And these responses leak out through the body before the neocortex even has time to formulate a lie. The freeze response is the most overlooked. When you ask a confrontational question, and the person suddenly stops moving, holds their breath, and goes rigid, that is the freeze response. Their limbic brain is trying to make them invisible. They are hoping the threat passes. A person who was gesturing freely a moment ago suddenly locking their arms to their sides is freezing. They are terrified of what you just asked. The flee response does not always mean running out of the room. It manifests as distancing behaviors. They lean back. They angle their torso toward the exit. They shift their weight to the edge of their seat. Their eyes dart toward the door. They are mentally escaping, even if their body stays put. The fight response in modern society is rarely physical. It is verbal and postural. They square up. Their jaw tightens. They invade your space. They raise their voice. They attack your character to deflect from the question. They puff out their chest to appear larger. All of these are limbic leaks. The neocortex is trying to maintain the mask, but the limbic brain is punching holes through it. When you understand comfort versus discomfort, you do not need to identify the specific emotion. You do not need to guess if they are sad, angry, or guilty. You only need to ask one question: are they showing comfort, or are they showing discomfort? Comfort means security, agreement, and honesty. Discomfort means stress, threat, disagreement, and deception. When you see discomfort, you know you have hit a nerve. You know you are close to the truth. Do not let their words talk you out of what their body just told you. Trick number 4. The change detector. Here is the secret that separates the observers from the oblivious. The most meaningful nonverbal events are not the behaviors themselves, but the sudden shifts in those behaviors. A person who constantly touches their face is not necessarily lying. That is just their baseline. But a person who has been sitting perfectly still for 10 minutes, and suddenly starts touching their face the second you mention a specific name or a specific number, that is a massive signal. The signal is in the transition. Most people are looking for a universal tell. They want a Pinocchio nose that grows when someone lies. It does not exist. Lying causes genuine limbic stress, which looks exactly like regular stress. You cannot reliably tell the difference between a person lying and a person who is just nervous about being accused. But you can tell when a specific topic triggers a sudden change in their physical state. You are in a meeting. Your colleague is relaxed, leaning back, speaking freely. You ask about the missing funds. Instantly, he sits up straight. His hands go to the table. He interlocks his fingers. His blink rate increases. He clears his throat. He starts using overly formal language. That transition is the tell. Something you said just flipped his limbic system from comfort to discomfort. Your job now is to identify the trigger. What exactly caused the shift? Was it the mention of the money? Was it the mention of a specific date? Was it the tone of your voice? When you see a sudden change, do not react. Do not accuse. Simply note the trigger, file it away, and probe that specific area later. The change is the crack in their armor. It is the moment the truth slips past the neocortex and bleeds into the physical world. Strategic people do not just watch the body. They watch the timeline. They map the behaviors to the specific words being spoken. If the discomfort spikes before the question is even finished, they anticipated the question, meaning they were preparing a lie. If the discomfort spikes a few seconds after, they are reacting to the implication. Timing is everything. The change is the signal. Ignore it, and you will pay the price. Trick number 5, the over-explanation trap. Let us talk about the words they use, because even the neocortex makes mistakes when it tries to lie. The neocortex is smart, but it is also paranoid. When people lie or conceal information, they feel an overwhelming need to convince you. They do not just state the facts. They build a fortress of words around the lie. They over-explain. They add unnecessary details. They give you context you never asked for. A truthful person says, "I was at home." A liar says, "I was at home, I got back around 8, I had some dinner, watched a bit of TV, and then I just went to bed early because I was really tired from work." The truthful person gives you 13 words. The liar gives you a paragraph. Why? Because the liar thinks more words equal more credibility. They think if they paint a detailed picture, you will not question it. But the truth does not need a PR campaign. The truth is brief. The truth is confident. The truth does not feel the need to justify itself. When someone gives you an elaborate, complex answer to a simple question, your alarm bells should ring. They are using words as a smokescreen. They are trying to control your attention with volume. They are burying the lie under a mountain of irrelevant facts. And while your brain is busy processing all those extra words, their body is probably screaming discomfort. Watch for the word count. Watch for the qualifiers. I honestly, to tell you the truth, I swear to God, as far as I can recall. These are verbal pacifiers. They are the neocortex trying to soothe you because the limbic brain knows a lie is coming. When they start stacking qualifiers and volunteering information you did not ask for, they are confessing. They are just doing it in a way that sounds like a defense. Cut through the noise. Short answers are honest answers. Long answers are hiding something. Trick number 6, the alignment audit. You are listening to their words. You are watching their body. But are you checking if they match? This is the 7-38-55 rule of human communication. 7% of communication is the words spoken. 38% is the tone of voice. 55% is body language. When someone is being completely honest and engaged, all three elements are aligned. Their words say yes, their tone sounds confident, and their body is open and relaxed. But when someone is lying or hiding something, the elements fracture. The neocortex controls the words. It can script a perfect lie. But the limbic brain controls the tone and the body. And the limbic brain does not cooperate with lies. Their mouth says, "I am so happy for you." But their tone is flat. And their shoulders are slumped. Their mouth says, "I did not take the money." But their voice goes up in pitch at the end, making it sound like a question. And their hand immediately goes to rub the back of their neck. The words say one thing. The body says the exact opposite. When there is a mismatch, you always trust the nonverbal. Always. The body is the truth. The words are the cover story. Most people only process the 7%. They listen to the words, they believe the words, and they ignore the 93% of the message that is happening right in front of them. That is why they get played. That is why they trust the wrong people. They are auditing the wrong books. You must become an alignment auditor. When someone makes a claim, do not just listen to the claim. Listen to how it sounds. Look at how it sits in their body. If the words and the body are not in sync, something is deeply wrong. They are performing. They are wearing a mask. And the cracks are showing. Do not confront them on the words. Confront them on the misalignment. Say less. Watch more. Let the contradiction hang in the air. Their own body will betray them. Trick number 7, the weaponized void. You have established the baseline. You have read the feet. You have spotted the limbic leaks. You have noticed the sudden changes. You have caught the over-explanations. You have seen the misalignment. Now, how do you force them to reveal their hand? You use the most powerful tool in the dark psychology arsenal. Silence. The natural human discomfort with silence is terrifying. People will do almost anything to fill a void. They will talk over themselves, they will backtrack, they will confess things they never intended to say, just to make the awkwardness stop. Most people think negotiation and interrogation are about talking. They are not. They are about listening. And the best way to make someone talk is to say nothing. You ask a calibrated question. Something open-ended. Something that requires more than a yes or no. Something like, how am I supposed to do that? Or, what is it that you are really trying to achieve here? Then, you shut up. You go completely silent. You do not nod. You do not smile. You do not look away. You hold their gaze with a stoic, unblinking composure. You let the silence stretch. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Watch what happens to their body. The limbic brain detects the silence as a threat. The freeze response might kick in. They might start pacifying, touching their face, shifting in their seat. The discomfort becomes unbearable. And then, they break. They start talking. They add details to their previous answer. They negotiate against themselves. They offer concessions. They reveal the hidden motive because the silence forced the neocortex to panic and generate more words, more explanations, more rope to hang themselves with. Silence is a strategic weapon. It is the void that swallows their composure. When you speak, you give away information. When you are silent, you extract it. You become a black hole that consumes their strategy. Marcus Aurelius understood that the less you say, the more powerful you become. Your silence puts the burden of performance entirely on them. And they will almost always fail. They will fill the silence with the truth you need. These 7 tricks are not party games. They are survival skills. You are operating in a world of masks, hidden agendas, and subtle manipulations. Every day you spend trusting words over bodies is a day you spend vulnerable. You are losing deals because you believe the confident pitch. You are losing relationships because you believe the apologies. You are losing your peace of mind because you are constantly surprised by betrayals you should have seen coming. The pattern is quietly taking your power. It is making you reactive. It is making you a pawn in someone else's game. You must shift your focus. You must stop being a listener and start being an observer. You must walk into every room with your eyes open, reading the invisible language that everyone is broadcasting but no one is watching. Words are temporary. The body is the map of truth. When you master this, you do not just read people. You control the interaction. You know what they are thinking before they say it. You know what they are hiding before they try to bury it. You see through the masks. You become untouchable. This is the ruthless art Machiavelli perfected. He did not just listen to what princes and peasants said. He watched how they moved, how they reacted, how they broke under pressure. He understood that power does not come from having the right words. It comes from seeing the truth that others are desperately trying to hide. Now, that art is yours. But knowing is not enough. You must apply it. Right now, not tomorrow. Start watching. Start baselining. Start using silence. Go into your next conversation with your eyes open and your mouth shut. See the truth. Take back your power. Look at the people around you. Their bodies are screaming. Are you finally ready to listen? If you are ready to become untouchable, leave a comment below. Say, I am untouchable. Claim the identity. Start the transformation.